Oh man, it felt great being back in the movie theater.
Pussy.
It felt great finally being able to watch this movie after multiple
Fuck you. I'm hungry. Food.
This movie was
Why
pretty...
do you keep talking? I don't talk. Why do you keep talking? You talk.
This is pretty much what the majority of the movie was like.
I'm literally drooling on your brain right now.
Shut up.
Now that is a red one. Ew, 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 ew.
Fuck's
Disgusting.
sake. Hey guys, welcome back to the Great Ones channel, and welcome back to our movie review series where we review movies that we just got back from seeing, you suggest, or short films of ours. And today is a movie that I just got back from seeing from the movie theater. Oh my god, yes, finally, holy shit. It's been a few months, so sorry. And this movie is a movie that went through multiple delays.
I'm pretty sure they know that already. This movie's been through multiple delays, and now it's finally being released, and you just keep talking about pointless shit still. Seriously, just review the goddamn movie, you pussy.
Venom, Let There Be.
Oh, red one.
Fuck off! Ugh. Carnage, Let There Be Carnage. Fuck's sake. It may have been through multiple delays, but it's here. It's finally here. Venom, Let There Be Carnage, the sequel to 2018's Venom movie. Pretty much all about Venom and Carnage fighting each other for the first time on the big screen. And that immediately got me excited to see this Venom movie. Just seeing Venom and Carnage fight for the first time in live action on the big screen, that got me super fucking excited. Yeah, maybe I wasn't super into the first Venom movie. I didn't even give a shit. I didn't give a shit. Just the idea of Venom and Carnage fighting each other on the big screen, I didn't care. I was like, I need to see this movie. I was really excited for this movie. Super pumped. And now I've finally seen it. So, what did I think of Venom Let There Be Carnage? I thought it was actually not too bad. I thought it was pretty enjoyable. I never was bored, thankfully. I didn't find the movie too boring. And this film actually felt like it was long enough. Like when the movie was over, I was just like, wow, I didn't feel that all that short. It actually felt pretty long. That's just to me personally. So I was fine with the short runtime because it didn't even feel all that short, which was really weird. And I enjoyed this movie. I never found it boring. It was weird. It was very, very weird. And at times I was like, okay. Some weird scenes, some really odd, weird scenes that did get a laugh out of me, and at times I was just kind of sitting there like, what the fuck am I watching? And but I was never bored. I really did enjoy this movie with some little flaws here and there. I did have some issues with the movie, which I will get into later, but for right now, let's get into the positives. The majority of this movie is just basically a comedy, seriously, especially with the whole back-to-back conversations between Eddie Brock and Venom. And thankfully, some of the scenes were actually legitimately funny. Like, there were scenes that actually made me laugh and made me, I actually got a laugh out of me, which I was really happy with. Not all of the jokes landed, I don't think. There's some scenes where, it was kind of a little too weird for me. It didn't really get a laugh out of me. But there are a lot of scenes that actually made me laugh, and I was very happy to see that. And like I said, most of these comedy scenes are mainly coming from the conversations between Eddie Brock and Venom. Those scenes are leveled up in this movie compared to the last movie. Seriously, there's a lot of scenes with them just arguing and bickering over each other and stuff. Oh my god, it's crazy. And at times it's kind of just a little too strange, and it's kind of too silly for me. And at times it's literally fucking hilarious, and it was fun. It was still it was really fun to watch. That's what really was the main comedic part of the movie. And of course, all this being done by Tom Hardy, who of course portraying once again as Eddie Brock, and he does a damn good job once again. And also, of course, doing the voice of Venom. I will talk about that a little bit later. But yes, of course, he does a pretty damn good job portraying the character of Eddie Brock, even if he can, just like the last movie, make some kind of weird, tones with his voice. Like, sometimes he can make some really weird sounds with his voice in these movies.
Very afraid.
Woody Harrelson playing the role as the crazy lunatic Cletus Cassidy. And at first, seeing Woody Harrelson is going to be playing the role as this character, I wasn't seeing him as Cletus Cassidy. I just didn't think it was very good casting. and I just didn't think he was gonna be all that. He wasn't really gonna do a good job. But thankfully, I was wrong, because Woody Harrelson actually does a pretty damn good job as this character, as Cassidy. I actually did really like his performance. I do like how they tried to give more of a backstory to Cletus Cassidy's character, because in the comics he's kind of just known as this crazy guy who kills people for no reason. In this movie, they try to give him more of a backstory, and especially with his little relationship thing going on between him and Shriek, they just try to do more with his character than how he was portrayed in the comics, which I do appreciate. So yeah, Woody Harrelson did a really good job playing this character, and that leads us to, of course, the one and only Carnage. Before seeing this movie, I kind of just recognized Carnage in just pretty much the Spider-Man animated series, the 90s animated series. I just kind of remember Carnage from that, and also a few video games here and there. And, I knew who Carnage was, so that's why I was pretty damn excited to see him in this movie. And thankfully, he was pretty cool. Yes, this movie doesn't have an R rating, so not everything he does in this movie is, over the top and brutal and stuff. Some stuff is kind of just what you would expect from a typical superhero. It's just kind of, you do kind of just see your typical superhero violence from him. Nothing too over the top, which I was kind of hoping for, but not every scene is like that, unfortunately. But there are some scenes where he's just like, oh damn, okay, you're doing that, alright, Carnage, alright, you do that. So it's pretty good. But yeah, not everything he does is over the top. But overall, Carnage was cool. And yeah, I don't know, I thought Carnage was pretty cool in this movie, and he had some really cool little weapons he pulled out while doing his thing. And Carnage was cool. He did some really cool stuff in the movie. So yeah, Carnage, he was cool. And yeah, and there were overall some really, really cool scenes in this movie, some really cool fight scenes, especially, of course, between the fight between Venom and Carnage is pretty crazy, pretty cool. And overall, the CGI and special effects actually don't look that bad. Yes, there are a few shots that are a little not 100% great, obviously, that's just kind of what you expect. But overall, I think the CGI in this movie was actually pretty good. Yeah, I actually thought it looked pretty impressive, and there were some really legitimately cool scenes in this movie, with Venom and Carnage and all those characters. They did some cool stuff, and yes, there were some really cool scenes in this movie. And overall, that's all I'm gonna say for my positives for right now. There's a lot more I could say, but this is a spoiler-free review. I don't want to get into spoilers, so that's all I'm gonna say for my positives for right now, because now we gotta get into the issues. A lot of the scenes where Venom was talking to Eddie or something, I could not hear a fucking word he was saying. A lot of scenes where I had no clue what Venom was saying, because I couldn't understand him. His voice was it was too off for me, and I just had no idea what the hell he was saying. And it happened over and over and over as he kept talking, and it just honestly pissed me off at some point, because I just couldn't understand what he was saying. Bit of a nitpick, I know, but I'm being serious. There was too many scenes where I just couldn't understand what Venom was saying. Literally all I could hear was just I'm not fucking kidding. That's literally all I could hear. And I was just like, what are you fucking saying right now? So yes, the voice of Venom was I couldn't tell what the hell he was saying. All the time, seriously, it was so annoying. I did say that I did like a lot of the fight scenes in this movie, and there were a lot of really cool scenes, but a lot of those really cool scenes were a little bit messy due to it just being too shaky. The way it was shot was just too shaky for me. Maybe it was because just watching it on the big screen, it just didn't work out. Maybe if I watch it on a more smaller screen, maybe it'll be better. I don't know, but watching it on the big screen, watching all these really cool scenes, they were cool. I just wish they were shot a little bit better, because they were just way too shaky for me. So that was a bit of an issue that I had with some of the little really cool scenes of the movie, which is a little disappointing. But yeah, yeah. There was a bit of a pointless scene in this movie that took place at a party. You might have already seen it in a few TV spots. It kind of has Venom at a party. It's been shown in a few TV spots, so you might have already seen it. I'm not going to get into the scene or anything, but it felt kind of pointless and kind of felt like it didn't really need to be there. And it was cool just seeing Venom just roaming around at a party, just blending in. It was cool, but overall, when the scene ended, I was just kind of like, that didn't really need to be there. Why was that there? It was kind of dumb, and that was it. It was just dumb, and that was it. It was just a really pointless scene that was kind of shoved in there. They could have easily cut that part out and do some other stuff, but they just had that scene put in. It's kind of cool, but it felt pointless, so that was kind of something that happened. Eddie's ex-girlfriend, Annie Wang, unfortunately becomes a bit of a damsel in distress, as a lot of people call it, which is kind of a little too cliche and typical, and it was kind of disappointing to see, but yeah, that happened. But thankfully, her and her boyfriend, Dan, are actually given some stuff to do in this movie, which I was really happy to see. But overall, she kind of just becomes a damsel in distress at the end, which was just kind of like, oh, fuck's sake, it's a little too typical. And overall, I'll talk a little bit about Shriek, Cletus's girlfriend, I guess. I mean, she was okay. She was okay in this movie. I thought her voice was really weird. Something about that voice just, I don't really know, it's kind of weird. And she also kind of felt way too much like Harley Quinn. Their relationship, those two together, felt so familiar to Harley Quinn and the Joker. Seriously, I got a lot of vibes from that, from those two. I just got a lot of Harley Quinn Joker vibes out of those two, and it was just like, oh, okay. Overall, anything else? Fucking Miss Chan. What a strange woman, man. She's given some really, she's given some stuff to do in this movie, but also she's also given some really cringy lines and dialogue, and it was pretty bad. But I don't know, I guess it's a lot of dumb scenes in this movie, and we have to put up with. But it was still fun. But Jesus, they went a little too over the top at times. But yeah, still, I was never bored. Despite some of my flaws, Venom Let There Be Carnage is a really fun and goofy movie. It's a little disappointing that they didn't really do anything too dark with Venom in this movie. He's literally just this fucking goofball of a character. It's a little disappointing to see, but overall, it still has some really legitimately funny scenes in this movie. And yeah, there are some scenes that actually got a laugh out of me, which I was really happy to see. And there are some fun scenes, some really cool scenes. Carnage, and it was really cool in this movie, and Cletus Cassidy, and Woody Harrelson plays the role as Cletus Cassidy really well, and Tom Hardy is just being over the top as always. It's a fun movie, just to check out and just pass the time, and I think you'll definitely enjoy it. So yeah, Venom Let There Be Carnage is a really fun movie, and yeah, it's pretty damn cool. And would I recommend you go see Venom Let There Be Carnage? Well, let me just say, I'd say probably, but ignore the people who say that this movie doesn't really matter. You don't really need to see this movie. Everything that happens in this movie doesn't matter, besides, of course, the after credit scene. That after credit scene, man, oh my god, that is crazy. I do want them to kind of explain it a little bit, because it doesn't really make sense. Yeah, it's cool, but it doesn't really make sense, so I hope they explain it a little bit. But damn, it was a pretty crazy after credit scene. But a lot of people say that you really just need to see the movie because of the after credit scene. I just say go check it out and have fun. You might not like this version of Venom. It's a bit disappointing seeing him being treated like this, but you might still not give a shit and just have a good time. So I'd say give this movie a try. You might have fun, and I just say go see this movie just to pass the time and have a really weird time just watching this movie. So yeah, just see it and have fun. This is going to be the end of my review of Venom Let There Be Carnage. Thank you guys so much for watching. Press your comments down below of what you guys thought of Venom Let There Be Carnage. If you've already seen it, do you think it's bad, good, enjoyable, or is it okay? I don't know. Just press your comments down below of what you guys thought of Venom 2. And yeah, this is the end of my review. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Now this one looks tasty. Come on, let's give the people what they want. Oh my god, you're so lame. Where's my chocolate?
Fuck you.